everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel. This video is going to be based off a poll that I actually put on my community page on the channel, which you can keep voting on, by the way, for which videos you guys would like to see me do in the future. And most of you wanted to see me do more videos talking about football and videos of me playing FIFA, talking about FIFA, stuff like that. So I thought I'd put those two into one, and that is what this video is gonna be about. As you can see by the title, it is going to be about the evolution of FIFA. A bit like a history lesson, but shorter, about FIFA, and hopefully more enjoyable. Let's get straight into it. So starting off way back with the first FIFA released in 1993, 10 days before Christmas. It was called FIFA International Soccer and kind of known as FIFA 94. Here is some gameplay of it on the screen right now. As you can tell, it is quite different to the FIFA we do now have these days. The graphics are nowhere near as good, but at the time it came out, it was like the first of a thing where the player would be controlling a sports team, and that was pretty cool at the time. The crowd noises, everything came in to be a pretty amazing game. It sold 500,000 copies, 500,000 copies in the first 4 weeks, and it was the highest selling game of 1993, even though it was released in mid-September. There is some facts about the first ever FIFA. Oh, when it came out, you could buy it for about, I think, 15 quid at the time. Now you can buy it for about £5 on eBay. And the game was on like Sega controllers, so there was no PlayStation or Xbox back then, I don't think anyway. So yeah, it was pretty cool when it came out. Let's move on to some later FIFAs with the next one that came after, a sequel after its amazing reception by critics, by everybody, for FIFA International Soccer. This one was called FIFA 95. So here's some gameplay on the screen. It was very smallly, by a very small margin, increased in the graphics and how much it looked. But this was the same with the first FIFA release. Classic EA, it was simply the worst thing about it was the servers and how slow the game ran. And even now, like 20 years later, EA still haven't fixed that. So EA, fix your servers quick. But yeah, there you go. Let's move on to FIFAs that moved into the 2000s with more football teams, licenses and better graphics. So moving on to FIFA 2000, the first FIFA game released in the 2000s. All the years before, they were releasing FIFAs and they were getting pretty much better and better. More people enjoying them. FIFA was going down pretty well. They had the Road to World Cup one with David Beckham on the front, so they were collecting more and more stars for the covers. And things were looking very good indeed for EA and their new game called FIFA. But for FIFA 2000 here, as you can see on the screen right next to me, we do have the cover star, which was Sol Campbell at the time. And now on the screen, some gameplay at the time. They now had like stadium sponsors like they do in real life. So they had like McDonald's was one of their main ones. They also have Coca-Cola and stuff like that at the time. So that was pretty big of them to make things look even more realistic. They were bringing more licenses into it, and they could soon have like proper real teams, and it would be clear as the graphics were so good now that you could kind of actually see the club badge on their kits. So that was an improvement for EA. Moving on to FIFA 2001, this was kind of known as, well, it's not, I don't really know what I'm talking about really, but this was quite a big jump in the quality of graphics. Here is the FIFA 2000 graphics, and then here is the FIFA 2001 graphics. So as you can see, it was known as like, wow, we can now actually see like their faces, and more players are being, so now they take players like Jadon Sancho in the more known players and study their faces for a while to make it look as realistic as possible. I think that's when they started doing that really, like, to a small extent in FIFA 2001. So they studied players' faces more, so it wasn't just random faces. It was now proper ones, and people could tell who they were. Now later on in 2006, this is when now FIFA was known as one of the biggest video games at the time. Very, you know, cool, good to play, fun to play. Not everybody got to play it, but the people who did, I think they enjoyed it. You know, it was known as the game of the time. It was like when Fortnite was in its prime, like 10 times better. It was the game to be playing, and there weren't that many other games to compete with it, really, for football-wise. Anyway, but for FIFA 6, 7, 8, and 9, every single one of them had Wayne Rooney and Ronaldinho on the front cover, which to me seems pretty crazy. Now they might have Messi and Ronaldo on quite a few, but it's more of a range. But for 4 years in a row, to have the same two cover stars, Wayne Rooney and Ronaldinho, that to me seems quite impressive, I guess. I guess they signed a big deal with FIFA, but it was in FIFA 2009, FIFA 09, FIFA 9, when they did release Ultimate Team. So that was when I think it came into the online part of things where video games have turned into. Now it's basically all about online. So yeah, that was when Ultimate Team was introduced. There was only 1 million users. Well, only, that is quite a big number. There was 1 million people playing FIFA Ultimate Team, but now over 20 million people have played at least one game of Ultimate Team. So that was quite a big year for EA. Obviously, they had 1 million people playing their game, millions around the world, really. And Ultimate Team was released, so they were starting to make it more of, I don't know, more of a modern game. It was also in FIFA 09 where basically packs were released, so you could spend real life money, and this is where EA really started to make their money, real life money on FIFA points to open packs and get good players. So this was kind of another one of a time thing when it came out, but obviously they've stuck with it since and have made a hell of a lot of money from it. But here is a little weird thing to look at, a trailer for FIFA 09 when Ultimate Team and packs were released. Here is a short clip.
When you get a player in a pack, that player is then available to play in your Ultimate Team for as long as his contract is valid. If his contract expires, you lose him, so you'll need to find contract cards to extend it.
So yeah, there you go. It's kind of weird to see how even back then contracts were still in the game. So they were releasing, even though when you thought a game of FIFA was enough, they were releasing players, packs, even contracts, and well, now they have manager contracts, managers, all these things that make the game as real as possible. And I don't really know what more they can do these days, but let's move on to later FIFAs where the graphics got properly good. Moving on to the Ultimate FIFA 12, which a lot of people think is the best FIFA to ever exist. I'm pretty sure it's the first one to ever involve a career mode, although there was manager mode in 2004, but this was when it was called career mode. You could play with players and play as the manager looking after a team, and the gameplay suddenly jumped from bad to decent to quite good in FIFA 12. Right here, as you can see right now, the club badges were obvious. It was now like related to the Premier League, so they had lots more sponsors paying them. EA paying them back, and it looked like a real good game. The cover star on this one was Wayne Rooney and I think Jack Wilshere, which shows at the time those were like some of the best players in the world, which is crazy how much FIFA has evolved. Now to 5 years ago, to FIFA 15, where people kind of started to realise EA were kind of seeming to be more in it for the money, and the games couldn't really evolve too much more. They couldn't improve that much, and it seemed they maybe could have stopped a while before that. But this was when Ultimate Team was pretty much the biggest thing, but the players' faces were not as good as people thought. Here are some on the screen right now. They were a bit messed up, and the Ultimate Team gameplay was apparently, I can't remember playing it, wasn't great at all. There were loads of mistakes through the game. There's loads of updates being made to stop minor bug issues, but there were so many of those that the game was totally messed up, and they had to do something to draw people back in FIFA 16, and that is what they did with FIFA Ultimate Team for draft. And I can remember FIFA 16 because of the drafts that were released. It was pretty big. So basically, if you don't know what draft is, you choose a formation, then you choose your captain, you choose all your players, and you build your own FIFA team out of the select players you are given to choose from. And that was a pretty big hit. A lot of people did play that, and they still do now, trying to get 195s and stuff like that. So that was when people like me were drawn back into FIFA, and it was seen as a new, fresh type of thing again. And the graphics were improved, by the way, something they always try and do every FIFA and sometimes fail. So now on FIFA 17 and 18, which is pretty similar to what it is like today on FIFA. This was when the Journey debuted. It was a story about Alex Hunter, the first of its kind, where you follow through being a player's journey trying to be a professional footballer, which he does get to, and I'm pretty sure it's still on FIFA 20 now. I'm not too sure, but that was basically what FIFA 17 was all about. The Journey was released. A lot of people did play it, enjoy it. it, along with the drafts, the ultimate team, everything that was still going on. FIFA seemed to be pretty good once again. Not that it was ever really too bad, but there we go. That was FIFA 17 and 18. Then to 19 and 20, which is what we do have today on FIFA. Pretty decent graphics. It'd be cool if I could make another one of these in a few years, see how far the game can go. There is now, like, you can play in the Champions League, different friendlies, there's new type of games to play, like mystery ball and stuff like that, which are fun. So that is my video, my maybe boring, hopefully not video, about the evolution of FIFA, all the way from the first FIFA that was called, I forgot what it was called now, something like soccer, and all the way to now to FIFA 20, how the graphics have evolved, different gameplays, different modes, and how people have enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoyed my little FIFA video. If you did, remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave some video ideas down below, and yeah, bye bye.